are in EATS 17 here in E17, and I have the outstanding Stella Creasy MP with me today. Thank you so much. Don't love me like that. You are. And look, and the great thing is, not only are you an MP, a young MP, and a very beautiful one at that. So
it's good lighting, you know.
So tell me, how did you get into politics?
I was always very concerned about the world around me, always questioning why things were the way they were, how things could be different, some of the causes and campaigns I was really passionate about as a young person. And I had a kind of light bulb moment that a lot of the things I really wanted to change were part of politics as well. So I've stayed involved in my community and I've stayed involved in various campaign groups, and I also got involved in a political party, and that made me want to get involved at a local level. So I was a local councillor in Walthamstow for a while, and that also made me want to represent my community at a national level as well, and the causes that I'm passionate about too. So I ended up standing for election last year, and here I am. Yeah.
And I know you had many and high votes come out for you, and because of the passion that you have as well. Because I had a sneaky look on your Twitter, if you don't mind, and not only are you talking about the environment, you're talking about education, you're very funny as well, and we have something in common. We both like cake.
I love cake. But that's the thing about Walthamstow, we have fantastic community pride here, and I think that's really, really important. And because actually, if we're not proud and passionate about our community, how can we fight for it? That's how I feel. So if I'm not in Parliament saying, you know, Walthamstow really deserves attention, then how can I be confident that I'm making the best case for us? And part of that pride comes in the fact that we all, you know, we like to have cake, we like to have tea, we like to share, and we like to be neighbourly as well. And I think that's really important, just as we like to fight for the things that matter to us, you know, both are important.
Both are really important. And for young women getting into politics, I know that there are about 44 female MPs in Parliament. That may be wrong, but you're one of them.
There's a few more than that.
More?
Yeah.
That's good, but
we are massively underrepresented,
yes,
and it's really noticeable to me that there aren't very many women when I'm sat in the House of Commons, and certainly there aren't very many people under the age of kind of 50 or 40. So definitely at the last election that changed quite a bit. There are a lot more younger MPs coming in, but still in terms of women, they're very, very underrepresented. Also people from different minority community backgrounds.
Exactly.
And actually, you want people in Parliament to be a mix of people, because then you get a mix of ideas and you get a mix of experiences, and that helps you make good policy. So it is a challenge.
And what would you say to young ladies who are getting into politics? It's not an easy road, and what do they need? What's the kind of education that they need as well?
I always say to people, it's about your passions. You know, I was passionate about changing the world before I got involved in politics, and that's what keeps you going. Because sometimes you have to sit through some really boring meetings. Sometimes it is really frustrating.
Yes.
If you're passionate and committed to something, you keep going. Yes. I mean, the people who fall along the wayside are the people who kind of say, well, I'd quite like to be in charge, but don't know why. If you're passionate about what it is that you want to change, then it's worth sitting through the meetings, it's worth the frustrations, it's worth the fact that you're going to have to make compromises to get there. And that's been my experience, that actually the things I care about, they need you to be committed, they need you to be willing to put the effort in.
And what would you say to young people in your constituency? And because I know you fight a lot for young people's rights and the things that affect them, and you've been doing it for years as well. So tell me a little bit about that.
Well, the young people I work with in Walthamstow are as cheeky and as funny and as clever and as ambitious as any young people in this country, but too often, because they live in Walthamstow, people write them off, and I think that's wrong.
No, I agree.
But I always say to them, I can't fight for you in Westminster if you don't fight for yourself in Walthamstow. So you need to put the effort, you need to show that you've got that passion, that talent, that energy, and then I can match that for you, and together we can actually do that differently. I really believe that there are kids in Walthamstow who could cure cancer if they were given the right education and the right support to do that, and we'd all benefit from them. There's so much potential around here. But actually, I can't do that for them on their own. They have to work with me, and we all have to work together for them. It's not just about our young people. Our community's like that. We've got so much potential here, so much talent. Actually, it's going to benefit everyone if we can get it out of them, and that's what we've got to work towards.
Definitely. So let me know, what else is your passion? What makes you happy? What fires you up every day, gets you going, and then go on your revolutionary course to change Walthamstow, and if not the world at some point?
Well, it's not my course, it's our course. I mean, that's the thing I'm passionate about. I love working with people. One of the things I love about Walthamstow is people are really friendly here, that people stop me in the street and that people are really committed. People aren't shy about telling me what they think, and I think that's a really good thing.
Yes.
You know, but what gets me out of bed in the morning is the fact that I have an amazing opportunity to fight for the causes that I care about and the community that I'm passionate about. And for all that I sit through some really boring meetings, and for all that I get really frustrated, and sometimes things don't work out the way that you want them to, and time is always an issue, to be able to do that is really humbling. And working with people in Walthamstow reminds me about that every single day. So, you know, what fires me up is the fact that I get that feedback from people and we get to do stuff together, because change is an amazing thing to be part of. I didn't get involved in politics to change governments. I got involved in politics to change lives, and you can see that starting to happen, and that it's an amazing thing to be part of.
And that's why you're a wonderful MP. So what does the future hold for you? Prime Minister one day? Don't laugh. It's the truth.
People always ask you those things.
Yes,
the things that really motivate me about the issues. Like right now I'm campaigning about legal loan sharking, because I see it's a real problem for a lot of people in Walthamstow, the rates that these companies and all the payday loan companies are charging. Making a difference around that is something I really, really want to do. So also around special educational needs. I'm really concerned that a lot of young people in Walthamstow who need support to do well, and actually some of the changes that are happening in education won't necessarily help them do that. I really want to turn that around. So those are the things that I really think about. I mean, you stand for election, you stand to be able to participate and to be able to make sure that voice is heard. And of course you fight to make sure that you can get to the point where you can make sure those voices are heard. But I also know that's not about me. None of the things I've been able to change I've done on my own. And that's why I'm always trying to say to people in Walthamstow of any age, you know what, get involved. Because that's all I ever did. I just started to get involved. And then you start to work with other people. And when people come together, that's when big things happen. So the more people who get involved, the more of our young people who stand up and say, you know what, I don't just have an opinion, I have a contribution to make, the more that we're going to get places. Don't just shout at me, get involved. That's what I always say to people.
Wow. I like you. Thank you for being my MP here in Walthamstow. I am grateful.
Well, that's my question to you. What are you going to do next?
What am I going to do? Well, like you, I want to change the world. I want young people to realise that they do have potential, regardless of where they come from, what they're doing, and how they get there, because they can't get there alone. Just like you, we as a community to come together and raise up our young children so they have high self-esteem, confidence, and not only help themselves but help one another. So that's my question right back at you. So thank you so much. So hopefully we can do this together. That's what I'm hoping.
I hope so.